Hello guys, this is Walter P. Hayes from MypharmTag, and I wanted to spend a couple minutes and demonstrate the second generation IP-based intelligent monitoring system that's going to be part of what we're going to call MypharmTag. So these are sensors that are roughly 1.6 inch by 1.5 inch, roughly 3 millimeters thick. Much smaller than the first generation sensors. Very advantageous for a number of reasons besides monitoring temperature and humidity. They also monitor light levels. They can also detect motion and have a way to allow a warble or a siren through its embedded speaker. And also has a small light embedded into it that you can remotely turn on and off. So the screen that you're seeing is basically what we call the home page. And this is the default gateway that all the wireless sensors report to. The unique thing about this gateway is it supports up to 40 wireless tags, which is also synonymous with the amount of jars that are tied to the MyFarm Jar Grower Pack. So this is what we call the home page. As you can see, it has a couple different sensors. We have 3 different sensors that are currently reporting to this gateway. We have a Gero 2, which is a cure that started back on October 8th. As we can see, the temperature is roughly 71.3. There's no ambient light that's getting to it. It's in a MyFarm jar, 1 liter that's sitting in a rack. Current humidity is at 64, so it's scheduled for a burping very soon. You can see that it has a motion sensor that can be armed or disarmed. Really what this means is the sensor going to be tracking motion. So if somebody was to open up the jar, you will definitely get an alert right away on it. So this shows communication and signal strength with the actual sensor itself, predicted battery life and voltage. You can do some basic graphing and plotting here and sharing of results. I will show you the stats. It's very powerful. So you can look at temperature, ambient light, moisture, motion, battery voltage, signal levels, and chart those across an XY chart. So let's take a look at what most people are concerned with, which would be humidity and moisture. I'm going to go ahead and deselect the other sensors. So what this is doing, it's emulating, grabbing real-time data. So what you're seeing is a histogram that we can select different segments of it. You can see we've got kind of a little rhythm going here. We're going to select the last 24 hours of a time slice. And then from within that 24-hour time period, we can actually zoom in even further by selecting it. So then, very informative. You can take a look and kind of graphically see what's going on with your jars, what's maybe going on with your cure. Gives you visualization to really give you input to what's going on. So let's take a look at another potential application here. We have an outdoor greenhouse that basically I have a heater in, and it's running an aeroponic system. Basically, you're monitoring temperature, humidity, light as well. So, let's take a look and see, from a graphing perspective, what that might look like, temperature, humidity, and light levels. So again, this is grabbing, let's focus on the last 24 hours. Here it is, you can see you have temperature versus dew point versus ambient light. Interesting to note that the ambient light is obviously a flat line during the night. You can see when sunrise happens, you can see when sunset happens. Between there, you can see the dew point and temperature risings. Again, this has been very nice for me to try to get my heating system dialed in and just basic control of the aeroponic reservoir. The goal would be, I do have a chiller that's available to utilize for it, but I'm trying to not use the chiller, but get the temperatures in line with to maintain roughly 66 to 68 degrees reservoir temperatures. So I just wanted to show a brief video of the capability. This is the second generation, and again, it's very, very powerful. Here's another jar that's being monitored. This one here is a little bit further in its progression. And as we can see, we're going to go here and take a look at a stat. We'll pull the humidity on it. We'll deselect jar. We'll select Jack the Ripper. It's in a 2-liter apothecary jar, as you can see. In the last 24 hours, I did open the jar, roughly somewhere in there. Earlier today, as you can see, there it is.